Welcome. This is the Late Late Show with BT reviews with security and the law. I've been provided to you, the public. This show, last show, I included an excerpt of Raw. Um, and so um, I started thinking, why not do a comedy show? So this show is going to be focused on comedy. And our publishings are going to include, so there's really going to be one. That's going to be Cosmopolitan, October 2015. However, Playboy, I mentioned that I enjoy doing the Playboy party jokes live. So I decided to pull some party jokes from Playboy. And that's going to be October, November, December, and January. And then we're gonna do Raw. So I'm looking at Raw. I'm looking at my recording, and it's like almost 3 hours long. You know, you just start doing something recording. You don't know how long it's gonna take. So I'm like, it's 3 hours long. Mind you, I haven't seen Raw from beginning to end, but I'm almost pretty certain it's not 3 hours long. And I was just using clips. So I'm gonna just do that. Maybe we'll get through it. I know I did like an extended. There's one segment in it, and at the end I did like an extended part, like for that segment. So we're not. It's not gonna be the entire thing, but I'm almost certain that extended part is not an hour long. So, but however, I'm gonna include that in the show today. So that's gonna be it, and again, it's Raw, Eddie Murphy's Raw. I just, it's like, I was doing this singing, recording singing, and, I first started with, you know, like performing. I started with poetry, writing my own poetry, performing my own poetry on stage. And so I was recording the singing, I've been doing the poetry, acting, or whatever. Um, so, just incorporating this security, like when I started doing security, I was like, okay, well, let me like get some, let me go, like, comedy or whatever, right? So I mentioned in previous show that I just took some clips. I have no idea, since I haven't seen it from beginning to end. I don't know if it's in the middle. I don't know at the beginning or the end. It's just a portion that I listened to for however a minute or 2 minutes or whatever was already out there online, and just got a gist of it, and then recorded what came from me from that story, like what pulled from my experience, or my feelings and my thoughts with regards to that situation, and just went from it like that. Like I don't know anything about punchlines, but um, you know, I just like being myself and wanted to see what if anything comedic will come out of that. Just being myself and pulling from my experience from this comedian, and it being raw, and like uh, um, I'm like a I think I also mentioned before about wrestling, and that situation, like, oh, I can't watch, like Raw wrestling, go in, I have to go in the other room to do that, um, and how that could be a reason why I haven't watched the Raw, Eddie Murphy Raw from beginning to the end. But it's like these wonderful, like, websites of like, okay, I'm just gonna, use that market or focus of what it was put out, how it was put out there, and go from there. And so that's what I did. I played one segment of it, and then today I'm just gonna like play what that's gonna be the show. So, the beyond serious topics, I want to begin with Tibet, Dalai Lama, for life, forever, Brad Pitt, daughter. Which daughter? Which Dalai Lama's daughter is forever for Brad Pitt? Little Orange Guy, Brad Pitt. My Little Orange Guy, Brad Pitt. Dalai Lama's daughter, end to Brad Pitt. 0 children by a jailmate. Dalai Lama's daughter to Brad Pitt. A jailmate, end jailmate, closed permanently. Why? Murder, crimes against babies, sexual crimes against babies. News and topics. There was an unfortunate situation where 7 pairs of white worn underwear went missing. The case is now closed. The results? 5 pairs went to Jared's, penalty, jail time. 1 pair went to Mimi's, penalty, jail time. 1 pair went to David's, penalty, not disclosed. Those visuals have been posted on our friend of the show Facebook page. Additional news and topics. Showcases the beloved Budweiser Clydesdales and beer wagon on front. A beautiful blend of radiant crystals and a striking design. This elegant pendant is an artful blend of contrasting shades of blue that sweep together to form a graceful teardrop. Even the bell is uniquely designed and showered with more aurora borealis crystals. Your satisfaction is completely guaranteed by the. If for any reason you're not absolutely thrilled by the pendant, you may return it within 90 days for replacement or refund. The Blue Wave Crystal Pendant is the perfect addition to any jewelry collection. Now trending, beautiful brows. The people I get compared to, I generally respect, but I have so much more to offer than being a copy of someone else. Beauty. 32 things to do this month. Number 8. Be wowed by the gorge pics in makeup history and face paint by Lancome boss Lisa Eldridge. How to be a bad bitch. Number 34. No. How could it be 34? It's 31. Almost 34. Michael Kors Gold Fragrance Collection in 24K Brilliant Gold and Rose Radiant Gold, $100 each. MichaelKors.com, better than a pumpkin spice latte. Brave the Unknown in boots built to do it all. It's a Cosmo girl's first time in California. I immediately send her to In-N-Out in Disneyland in the beach on Catherine Conrad. Ooh, with a thin bracelet, Monica Rich Casson. So, confessions, Jeremy, 8 shares. Then the attendant started yelling at me, so I felt terrible. Smart is beautiful. A belted waist, lace-up boots, and perfectly mussed hair makes a midi skirt as sexy as a mini. Facts. Parisian women are chic as and not just the babes in Batu stripes. The blushed. The blush. That was the first wine that I was asked to, at a bartender. I used to bartend in a theater. That was the first wine I was asked. That was asked of me. Can I have some blush? Chanel or non-reflective mosaic tiles bring the sparkle of a très chic Parisian brassiere to your everyday look. With a photo from Jamie Chung. Beauty with Lee Wire. This fall, pull the pin on your wildest beauty dreams. We asked the avant-garde designer duo in minds behind Flower Bomb, the ultimate fairy tale fragrance celebrating its 10th birthday, for inspiration. Because if loving glitter is wrong, we don't want to be right. The hair ornaments remind us to dream bigger than black elastics. Beauty. Batiste, revive your hair in an instant with Batiste dry shampoo. Get ready to be brilliant. Try this radiant red carpet look that created for her appearance at Cosmo for Latinas, Fun, Fearless Awards, and be the brightest star of the night. Beauty. The best part, Booty Call Beauty with Lauren Balsamo. Just when you thought it was going to be a Netflix face mask in sweatpants kind of night, your boo hits you up for a little late night nookie. Your boo hits you up. Then rake fingers through strands for bed head texture and sweep everything into a top knot. Laid back is especially sexy late night. You and more beauty. Beauty. Still Lauren Balsamo, these 2-for-1 styles inspired by the runway will keep you cute during and after your favorite cardio session. Wind a metallic cord around the base of your pony for extra security. Once the gloves are on, you won't be able to tighten the elastic. Beauty. The Big Audition. And more beauty with Jessica Maitland. The color was identical to the hundreds of others under the same roof, but the name had bite. Underage Red. Often we think, oh, they're trying to be creative, funny, cool. If they're not part of the target market, then negative press is less likely to hurt the brand. Translation: if an ultra-conservative fan mouths off about, does it really hurt the brand? The best way for companies to address negative press is to replace it with positive stories. When Too Faced created Better Than Sex mascara in 2013, it quickly became the brand's best-selling product, and it's seen triple-digit increases since its launch. Mascara launched and that's Benefits Cosmetics. Their Real mascara, launched in 2011, is the brand's #1 product and the top-selling makeup at Sephora. It's not at all marketing. Both formulas deliver full, sexy lashes, but a hot name doesn't hurt. Even if that's not how you roll, using a product with a taboo name can make you feel like You're living on the edge, says the beauty equivalent of the friend who's cooler than you. Looking at sales, it pays to be a badass. Urban Decay, bought by beauty giant L'Oreal in 2012, is the top-selling color cosmetics brand at Sephora and ranks among the hottest brands among millennials, according to a 2015 survey by Bank of America. When you're faced with a wall of color, each bottle a mere half shade apart, it takes something extra to make one stand out. I'm Not Really a Waitress has been the brand's top-selling shade since 1999. A woman on the cusp of greatness. Who wouldn't want to be her? So even the dry damage from 100 blow dries transforms into silky amazing. Strong is beautiful. Kim Pesh at Eat Sleep Wear. I feel lucky to be able to help someone who's battling cancer. Beautiful links. Use our guide to all things veggies to brighten up your meals. Plus, interest skin. Plus, stave off cancer and improve heart health with something green and red, orange, yellow, and but these top chefs know that produce can hold its own. So we asked founder of meal planning site cooksmarts.com to break down the best way to cook fall's top veggies. The max number of minutes you can cook your broccoli before you begin to destroy nutrients, 5. It's a fantasy we've both had for a while. It's a beautiful thing to find a workout you love. You have to be able to cover the distance first. Alternating jogging and walking is actually better than just going at one place. Source Jennifer Ashton, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be on your radar. Tell your doctor you're aware that STIs can be detected outside the reproductive organs and ask to be tested there. Source Joel Palevsky, MD. And so we're still in news and topics. And I guess before we're gonna go to party jokes. So news and topics. We are including Nurse Jackie and the L word in the show. So we're bringing back the L word because we are gonna close. We're not gonna close. So we're gonna stop broadcasting with Bamboozer the end of this month, the end of February. So we're bringing back in the L word, and we're going to do Nurse Jackie, and it's going to be extended past our usual time, just like the last show. And that's going to be for the rest of this month. A man went into Staples and began to chat up the stunning blonde sales clerk behind the counter. By the way, he asked her, "Do you keep stationery?" "I try to," the woman replied, "but at the last second, I just go crazy." And with that, we're going to go to Raw.
So you're like, excuse me, I don't need anything that you have. It's not relevant to who I am. Just want it, want to put it in a place where it is.
Okay, I guess I'll start from the beginning.
So, I want a comedy, and I want to use anywhere.
And also another part of the show. So
So
I was feeling quite Tandy Newton, and
the full show was not.
so I made a cake.
However, there are clips that have certain descriptions by them.
And
It's not at this time. The
it looks
descriptions
something like this.
are some original. This,
So I'm going to be dining on this throughout the show as well.
or if there's simply, I've never posted on.
So just like
So
Tiny Newton.
thinking that I'm gonna be as raw as I possibly can. And keep it relevant to me. But it's not relevant to who I am. Just want it, want to put it in a place where it secures what's relevant to who I am. So, the topic is American women. So, American women and the movement. So, he's like, dating this woman, in a relationship, and, it's like, I'm into, and she's like, I'm into you too. So, he's like, so will you, will you marry me? She's like, I'm not trying to ever ask. It's like, just one thing, I would like from you, contract, agreement, put something black and white, just to, she's like a contract agreement, just to, for if things don't work out, that whatever you put in, you take, and whatever I have, I keep. So you're like, I'm like, excuse me, I don't need anything that you have. I'm not interested in keeping anything that you have. I don't want anything that you have. I have my own things. So when you get off asking me to sign some contract or some agreement for us to be together. So, you're like, no contract. So go ahead and get married. This shit don't work out. And she's then she becomes pissed off and disturbed. Like, how dare he go with that bitch? And she decides to take everything she can. She takes the car, the house, the children. It's child support, alimony. And you want to cover somebody then there's this, this other, I got this other friend who got a Japanese woman, woman from Japan.
So this is American women.
So I go to their place and, she bows. And I'm like, so I asked him, why, she bows. Like she's in, Japan, they all bow. So I, asked her, did you, was this you? Did you decorate this house? She turns and, looks at him, and they gives her permission to speak. Gives her permission to talk. So I'm like, wow, not only does she bow, but she gets and receives permission to talk. So, I like, American women, American, but love and money don't mix. So you're spending money, next thing you know, it's the popcorn, it's the movie, it's the shows, it's, all this money. So, you ask some question where I don't have any rings on my finger, she says. Where am I going? I don't have any rings on my finger. Ask me where am I going? You don't own me. Where are you going to be? Is there a ring on this hand? You don't own me. Oh. She had to say that the second time. So like, oh, okay, I don't own you. Oh, I don't own you. So the next description is
This Tiny Newton is Tiny Newton is my Tiny Newton is like Brad Pitt's a jailmate and jailmate, and that's what I got here. And then there's one other one, but I only did this one. And before the end of this month, I'm not going to do the other one. I'm pretty certain of that. But I did happen to, do this one and put in there. And like the icing, I mentioned that coconut took a long time to get here. Just wasn't very like compatible to my palate. But the icing is actually a coconut icing. It just looks like that. It's not white, but it's coconut. But anyway, it's like Tawny Newton is like, my Brad Pitt's uh, hey jailmate, and this is what this is. That's the whole point. It's like that, and you can't tell me nothing. You know, in that one. Okay. All right, news and topics, because this is a comedy show, and it still views with security and law, and that's why it's not just straight that. If you haven't figured that out by now, um, I don't regret that I got pregnant, but I do regret that I spent more time researching the best margarita in my neighborhood than I did about what going off birth control would mean. She hears it often. This is what Michelle Ruiz. She hears it often. Patients citing their besties as health advisors. Others rely on mom, whose birth control knowledge tends to be out of date. And it's been said at many a brunch table that women should take breaks from BC, as being under the spell of hormones for too long is dangerous. Some may slightly raise your chance for breast cancer, but the benefits outweigh the risk. That's before there were nylons. Hashtag be the end of loss. Donate 8 inches of hair or $8 to the Beautiful Limbs Fund. Photo Eric Ray Davidson with Lauren Conrad. So the whole Tiny Newton situation is, you can't tell me nothing. I guess I think it's that Kanye West. It's like we're going to this first. Lauren Conrad, she who at 18 made her grand entrance into the public eye in the postcard-worthy scenes of Laguna Beach, followed by the drama of the hills, who oversees the Pinterest Perfect, the littlemarket.com, and laurenconrad.com, and is responsible for two beyond feminine fashion lines, Paper Crown and LC Lauren Conrad, for Kohl's, which included a collab with none other than Minnie Mouse. It's tackling rattlesnakes. But then, as a legit lifestyle guru in a sea of celeb wannabes, see her books, Lauren Conrad Style and Lauren Conrad Beauty. Her ninth, Lauren Conrad Celebrate, will be published next year. Why shouldn't she take on pest control? On September 9th, she'll unveil a limited edition LC Lauren Conrad runway collection and her first ever runway show for the brand. So it's kind of like, you find yourself, so back to the culinary contribution, and You Can't Tell Me Nothing, and Tiny Newton. It's kind of like, you've been call yourself having like all these different type of relationships, because I mentioned we have this couples that we mentioned the Cupid crib we have, that we're all for these couples coming together, that the show, but you know is that mind, like you have to leave certain things behind, and that's one thing that I guess Tanya got, is that it's like you know, you say you moving on into this relationship, and that this is the one for you. Like, yeah, like if I was to marry you, or to like give you away to someone to marry, like you say that, but is that really true? Are you still falling back into what you all did, and what this one gave you, and what this felt like, and what you thought this felt like, and what this happiness was? Are is that still you? You still got Tiny Newton, or it's like, that's why I'm like, you can't tell me nothing, because like, that's just like not here at all. It's like this. You can't tell me nothing. I got Tiny Newton with everything about it. So Jessica Matlin, they're familiar to us, says a global beauty industry analyst for the NPD Group, a global information company. They still want to smell pretty, but they're looking for something with more attitude. While C has floral notes, freesia and rose are two. It's described as a modern Chypre. Chypre being the fragrance family built on woody, mossy notes. Any floral notes tend to be paired with edgier ones. Think rose with oud, violets with patchouli. Their popularity has inspired bigger brands, the type you see at Sephora and Macy's, to think outside the box, influencing the way scent is being sold. Big luxury brands are creating niche fragrances, and niche fragrance brands are striving to be big luxury brands. Co-founder of Ex Nihilo, a buzzy independent Parisian perfume brand. The model of the moment isn't the most conventionally beautiful, but what has catapulted her stardom. Femininity is changing. Women can be more undone and raw, says Flores, who created the beautiful yet unorthodox arrangements on these pages. Her Yang Tabak or Tabak blends feather light jasmine with the smell of musk and tobacco. Nora and Black consider them rock stars bottled. As the nose behind so many of scents signified by their aphrodisiac quality, she gave herself a clear direction, which is ripe with peony, nectarine, and lychee. I wanted it to be lickable, she says. Each has a free-spirited eccentricity about it, but they still feel refined. It may just be the most anti-establishment floral of all. Jessica Maitland, beauty tip. So I guess I should keep this here. Yes, my thing about Tiny Newton is like, how do you, it's like, I guess like I'm not a Tandy Newton collaborator, like conversationalist, because it's like, wouldn't that be like I don't have it, it'd be like I don't have it, and I got it. So what other name you have, I guess that's how we could relate, but it's not, it's Tiny Newton. Um, so back to the party jokes. What do you get when you take the drug Molly along with birth control? What do you get when you take the drug Molly along with birth control? A trip without the kids.
So nowadays, I guess, I guess back in, back in the day, or maybe it's still now, possibly nowadays, or anyway, the idea that you have to have a job, you gotta have a job to get what we, you have to have a job, each songs, just hearing it, different songs. You gotta have a job if you wanna be with me. There's no romance without finance. I don't want no scrubs. I don't want no. I don't even know how it goes, but I don't want no scrubs. And just those songs. You have to have a job. You have to have a job. I'm a good woman, and you have to have a job to get this. So, I'm thinking like, maybe I need to, somebody who don't know, or think they know all about money. Go somewhere, there's someone from Africa, a Liberian, Liberian, someone, from Liberia, uh, and, a zebra bitch, someone from Liberia who has, who's like, placebo on them. And you know, bring her, bring this one back to, back here, and be on some magazine like, this is not woman.
Did I
Have her
say
on
this
the
was raw?
zebra, and be there,
I'm eating coconut.
with her,
This is not white.
my garb, and
I should just love this show.
I'm there with my garb, and she's there with her garb on a, zebra. We buy the zebra, like, what? But you know how it is sometimes. You get invited to parties, and you go back to parties. You just can't, expose them to some of these, you know, So you go to a party, and can't wait. Some of these, man, you know, I don't even know that's the right word. Just, nosy. That nosy type, that man nosy. Um, um, uh, you know, the read from university type. The type. Just can't wait to like get your a phone and be like, you should just take what you should just take everything. Just take everything you can. Just take everything you can. You don't need to be, putting up with this. You don't need to be putting up with that. You should be putting up with, and I just can't wait to get her alone and just, attempt to put all this, like, just, nonsense into her, just attempt to put it all up in her head and mind, and then, attempt to have you, go to your place, to your home, with this,
That big piece, and I'm almost done. That piece was huge. It was really big, right?
So now she's like, Latasha. You're like, what? Yeah. Latasha, what is it? What do you want? Have. I want to take every day.
What's the best sex toy that I can share with my guy? So what we're really saying, you should both prepare for liftoff. So love with Logan Hill. It's been 2 years and nothing's happened. Most guys are not going to be rattled, and smart guys see it as a challenge. You have nothing to be sorry about, so don't overthink it. I've tried everything, even joining a Zog sports team, but I can't find a BF. It might be time to try a different tactic. Whether it's love or basketball, you're more likely to score if you're having fun playing the game. If you're dating casually, you don't have to tell a dude that there's never going to be room in your womb. There's no way to know if he'll stay with you forever, but that wouldn't be any different if he were straight. Although many bisexual people deal with the unfair assumption that they may change their minds, a bi guy is no more likely to say bye than any other. Then he's more likely to be a stand-up guy, bi or otherwise, with you. If they want him to get back together with this ex, be wary. Sex Q&A. I feel like that has to be BS, right? My BF is into rim jobs, but they skeeve me out. My BF. Too big? The largest erection ever to be medically verified was 13.5 inches long and 6.25 inches in circumference. Andrea Bartz. We saw each other several days a week and made those confident future plans that are thrilling for their banality. We'll go to a Nets game this winter. I was baffled, then concerned, and then mad. Mad enough to call him out. How could I have dropped my guard and projected a whole future? Weekends away, a +1 at weddings, and even the lofter daydreams, moving in and adopting a dog with someone who turned out to be a stranger. I was a crumpled mess, and yet I didn't think I had the right to be broken up over a non-breakup. After 7 years of dating in New York, I have more exes than I can count on both hands, but I also haven't had a capital B boyfriend since college. Something funny happened when I began talking to other women and about their non-breakup stories, though. Um, And once more, with feeling from Kimberly, a 26-year-old administrative assistant in Asheville, North Carolina, I felt I should have known better. A breakup that comes with a side of keep it to yourself shame. You feel you can't go to your support system as readily as you could with the breakup from a 2-year relationship. That's clinical psychologist, PhD, author of Having Sex, Wanting Intimacy. Take in my relationships after this guy from the beginning, I was like, I'm not doing that bullshit where we don't know what we are for 3 months. What if, instead of berating ourselves for getting hurt, we could treat our fake ups with the same TLC we have on official splits? Talking to friends who undoubtedly have dealt with this kind of crap on a regular, reminding ourselves of the reasons it wouldn't have worked, and eventually seeing it as a portal into what we really want for our love lives. I never heard from the 3-week wonder again, which is for the best. And lately, I've been seeing a sweet French guy who brings me flowers and announces he's excited to see me and is baffled that these aren't niceties I've come to expect. So that's a wonderful example of another perspective that's different than my Tawny Newton culinary contribution. Because in that one, like, I'm just being honest, that's exactly what I mean. Like, you can't tell me nothing. You want to get married, but you're still like on like your exes and this exes, and I've had this many number of exes and these number of relationships, and these failed and these worked and this kind of worked here. It's like still her. Like, you can't tell me nothing, really. I'm just like, this is the one, always, forever, and like, you can't tell me nothing. It's like how, you know, it doesn't come out of here. It doesn't come out of me. So, your fave beauty plus fashion brands. Beauty con. But that's me, and that's why everyone is so different, right? And it's not like you have different people when it comes to relationships. I'm like, this is the one for you. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. His preferred hashtag MCN will clue you into the guy he aspires to be every day of the week. Box water is better. Reach for better. So I found what I was looking for. But it didn't happen overnight. I didn't wake up one day and was like, oh, I was in that community for a long time. When you're being kept or whatever in a life that isn't yours. Protecting you from doing something that you wouldn't do. But I'm not in that anymore. And that's where that comes from. It's like when they ask you, I don't know exactly where it is, but when you're in that situation and you're faced with having to let something go, that's what that means. You completely let it go. It's not you. You completely let it go. And make way for the you that's you. So,
that's just the type of company you just need. So this time here, keep in mind that none of these are known official outlaw titles. So this one is called, its title, Infogram. How many women would clap that or for their mates being loyal to them? In other words, would clap that, the word mate. How many mates out there whose women are clapping are loyal to them? So, there's the type of look at them like, that'll look at you like, why aren't you laughing? Shouldn't you be clapping? So what? You're not a loyal mate. So you fooling around. You haven't been loyal to me. You fooling around. So, all of you out there, if your mates are telling you that they're loyal to you, and all you, mates who, say you're mates to your women and that you're loyal, stop lying. You're lying. There is absolutely no man or mate to a woman who is loyal to them. stop your line. So, so just driving along, and then so I'm not clapping, for this, right? That I'm not a loyal me, and so this mad, like Bulgarian, with this mad woman just starts, or maybe not mad woman, maybe it's too extreme, but anyway, then she starts. So let's get back to this fooling around. I'm like, what's fooling around? So you're not a loyal mate. So what do you mean? And what's up with that? If I catch you fooling around, you know what I would do? I would be so hurt and disgusted. You know what? You know what? How I would act. I would go into your room and I would kill you. No one's getting kicked up in here. Do you know, I would be so hurt. I will wait until, she's like, I will wait until you go to sleep. And just wait until you go to sleep and just fucking kill you. Nobody's fooling around. Nobody's fooling around. But if you come to my room where I'm asleep to fucking kill me, you better.
Benefit from a program accredited by the Commission on Accreditation of Allied Health Education Programs upon the recommendation of the Medical Assisting Education Review Board, Bryant and Stratton College. New e-tailers use stylish plus nifty algorithms to boost your work wardrobe straight from your laptop. These trendy for fall shades are softer and way less boring than black while still going with almost everything in your closet. But uniforms don't have to be bland. Be the star of your team. Cosmo financial columnist, CEO of LearnVest, wrote an entire book called Financially Fearless because the truth is most of us aren't. For some, investing is nerve-wracking. For others, debt and spending is the monster under the bed. These baby steps can help you build serious money momentum. Let the advice from live superstars spark your creativity and inspire you to be as strong and as irresistible as only you can be. Bring the heat. Your -ein trouble, Kim T20, Amanda K. Or you could, just buy the book. That was around bitch it out. The breakdown. Boost the results of your skincare products. Your skin is beautiful, resilient, and refreshed, ready to face the day. For 80 years, life is beautiful. With Montclair. For every age, every skin type, multiple ethnicities is the first step to any beauty routine. For 80 years, life is beautiful. With Montclair. Advice to college students: choose a major that you love, and you'll never work a day in your life because that field isn't hiring. A man called the front desk of his hotel. "Please, send someone over," he said. "I'm having an argument with my wife, and she's threatening to jump out the window." The hotel manager replied, "I'm sorry, sir, but we cannot intervene in what seems to be a private issue." This is a maintenance issue," the man said. "I can't get the window open."
So, some years back, called, at the time I called myself, co-writing a piece or a paper, about homosexual, specifically homosexual men. And it was, um, and then it was also kind of like, homosexuals had, and, it's nothing like a nation of um, mad homosexuals, you know, attempting to come at you. So, go to a party, there's about 2, 3, maybe even 6 homosexuals at a party. Like, whoa, who's that? Do we know? Who know you? You go to an airport, it's like homosexual alert. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here, trying to catch you across, you know, trying to catch you in the hood or across town, um, or um, some other place. It's they're like, pull over, pull over. Yeah, you. Just pull over. I want you to get out of the car. Trying to pat you down, like, are you carrying? Are you carrying?
A drunk man staggered into a Catholic church, entered a confessional booth, sat down, and said nothing. The priest coughed a few times to get his attention, but the man sat silently. Finally, the priest pounded 3 times on the wall. The drunkard mumbled, "Ain't no use knocking. There's no paper on this side either." So Cupid crib. So our celebrity contribution has brought about a couple contribution, and it brought it about in a way where it seems like there are kind of a bunch of blind dates. Some have worked together, but some have never met. And my couple process went from being internal to being an inside out. When it was internal, it was different because there was at least an exchange, an experience, but it still kept a disconnect from the couple that were put together who never experienced each other or from totally different communities. And sometimes being from different communities can have belief challenges, peace challenges, and there's a situation of current relationship slash current couple, and the differentiation, the difference of that present being a job, an extension of a role versus the real love. And now the situations have um, put myself out of the internal and into the inside out, being faced with both situations. Reality as it relates to current couple, current marriage versus adultery, and reality as it relates to communities merging peacefully with belief. What I was faced with was knowing the pairings of others, true, real love. And then I had to address the knowing of my parents. What changed? Well, first the hesitation came from the gay and my vocalization about a gay relationship not being wanted. And the second hesitation came from having to give something in this situation and having to go into making something be the truth from my truth. For example, like this is true for me and who I'm with. So in a situation where we have this, then who you are has to be what is compatible to my truth. Like this is true for me, so we're just gonna, and this is true for you. So that's how it kind of was with the internal. But then there is Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which brought about compatibility with that truth. Again, only, you know, work, deal with, address stuff that's here, that's point to here in terms that I have with, views with security and law. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith is one of those. So it brought about compatibility with that truth. But it brought about another truth or two. So both of those truths were explored. And J. Alexander later brought about, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Yes, J. Alexander's response is, "Yes, I am." So it's like not really interested. I'm not really interested in coveting someone else's love. Not really interested in coveting someone else's children. So my guess, without knowing, exactly, my guess is that the guy that was the internal has a brother. Now, I don't, never met before, but that's my guess. The guy that was the internal has a brother who is Jay Alexander. And this Jay Alexander has a partner whose first name probably began with an L, who is so carry, so very. And not only were they my brother's keeper, but they got my sister's keeper also, in a way. And that's why Jay Alexander and Carrie got the kids, the adopted kids, and the other three. And the other three. And there's Jasmine Riley. Because Tibet, 7 years in Tibet, care for life, care for children, care for United, care for Dalai Lama, care for China, care for Brad Pitt, care for Dalai Lama's daughter. It's like the intent was to hold in a jail and take blood from Pitt. Like, the Pitt commitment to law was not liked by the criminal life jailmate, and they wanted revenge. It could have been religious fanatics, because of, Dalai Lama's daughter. But then they could have wanted revenge because of the Pitt commitment to law. And could have maybe also tried to include taking his dad's life or harming it because of his commitment to Brad and Brad's real love, Brad's life, not once, but twice, at least. So that's our Cupid crib. And because we got comedy, NFL, Jennifer Lopez, Mary Kay. ABC. NFL. St. Michael, the Guardian Silver Crown Ring. United States Buffalo Nickels, the Crystal Collection. And Lauren Conrad Cosmopolitan. So I guess back another note about the comment with regards to the Cupid crib is like the adopted kids. It's like once it went past that, it was like you're going for his dad. Anyway, during the Republican presidential debate, Donald Trump was asked for his views in same-sex marriage. I believe that marriage is a sacred bond, he said, between a man and a woman he will replace in 6 years.
So, the movie Rocky comes out, and Italian fighting Rocky. So it was a lot of fights. They're just unbelievable. There's a lot of fights. This movie Rocky. So, because there's a group of Italians after that moved there, coming out the moved there, and they're like, saying like, do you see how, did you see how, this, that, did you see how just unbelievable. But it is. There are a lot of fights about it. It's about this Italian fighter named Rocky. So, at the movie theater, some Italians come out for the movie thing, and to the, some Italians come out for the movie theater, and they're sort of like, sounding thinking like, did you see, how, Rocky just, beat that movie down, and like all these movies around, and just throwing at dicks, and like just fucking, just fucking, like one of the most, like, that movie was just so fucking, just, just their dicks, and just, still, how, Rocky and, movies and, niggas and, how, yeah, movies should have, that's what, so, a bunch of, these movies or these nigga lovers or whatever, or niggas or Italians. So they're like, so then they spot, this black, this black woman, this black guy. So it's about six, I don't know, maybe five of them or whatever. So they go into the black woman, this guy, they all punk, come out rally, whatever. So it's like five of them, and they go up, to, look at all the movies, the movies of the, so they go up to whatever, and they're like, so the leader of the pack, like, at the concession stand or whatever, like, he was some juicy fruits, give me a box of juicy fruits, give me some goobers, give me some of those fucking, one of those fucking things, talk to the other one, like, bonbons, some of those fucking bonbons, and, what you want, but like, and then the other one, the guys talk to the other one, like, the other time, like, what about, see what else they so we got the fucking bonbons, we got the juicy fruits, and, what else, fucking bonbons, juicy fruits, and bicycles, and, oh yeah, and, don't forget the bell pop. And, so, I put some butter on that shit. And, that's going to be, this nigga, I'm sorry, the movie right here is gonna hit a gap. So, at that time, they're looking at each other, so this woman, this guy, they looking at each other like, so they're like, excuse me? They come out of rock, it's like about 5 of them, they, they're like, is fucking bonbons, their fucking bonbons shoved down their throats, and whatever else.
So it seems like we are going to be doing this um, the next show and maybe the next show. So it's not going to be all this show. They're not going to keep going until it's over. We'll go through the next shows. So Nurse Jackie is still going to be fitness, but that's going to be towards the end, of course. And we have totally awesome Asada Cuba Dallas Buyers Club Beauty. A beauty rite of passage is quite possibly the only teen lotion that many 20 and 30 somethings still rely on for amazing skin. This blazer and faux leather leggings are, I think those 8-inch nasty gal platforms may not work for everyone, but they work for me. I avoid bright prints that read too young or frivolous. But the clean cut fun of this neoprene dress clicked. This was a dress that made me stand better. And that's it for our totally awesome. So being together. So 7 years into that. 7 years into that. So I have to admit, I considered, you know, it being a job and, like since we have this Cupid contribution, that, is another Cupid contribution, and, um, uh, you know, the couple is, like, not the actual daughter, but, a different daughter. But I couldn't, upon my research, I couldn't find that information. So that's what happened with that. If you have any questions, so it's like, then you have HH, HHs with that one, and maybe HHs with, so trying to get to whether, like, is it's kind of like the internal, then you go from the internal to inside out, and understanding like really what that means with regards to bet. And this particular person not being a job, but being, like, with, this one, like the difference, like, are you with like, Malia Obama, or are you with actually the president's daughter? Because that's the question. Like that's what the issue is. Like, are you actually with the president's in my Cupid crib? Am I like, is it set up with like, like Sasha Obama or Malia Obama, or is it actually, or did you, is it actually like you actually got the Dalai Lama's daughter? Like which is it? Um, and then like, Tibet, what that means when it comes to like the adopted kids versus the three, and what that means with Tibet. So it's like, like, that reality, like the truth, and what Are they religious fanatics? Like what sacrifices, because there's a truth to that, there's a reality to that with regards to whether it's like Sasha Obama, Malia Obama, or the actual president's daughter. There's a reality that comes to that when it comes to there's a reality when it comes to the actual Dalai Lama's daughter versus like Sasha Obama, Dalai Lama's daughter. 7 years in Tibet, Dalai Lama's daughter. There's a reality to that. The Outofnetwork Spotlight. If Infinity can finish Marathon, your back-to-back meetings will be a breeze. Outofnetwork Spotlight. Rewrite the rules. Always. If you could do that, if you could just rewrite the rules, like when it comes to Tibet. It's like, like you're young, you have no idea, right? You just a job, give you some money, you put some food on your table, fill up your resume. Rewrite the rules. Can we rewrite the rules? It's like Tibet. Is it Sasha Obama? Was it Asher Dalai Lama's daughter? Which is it? Because we can't rewrite the rules, and that's like the truth and the reality of it. All right, so we're now going to our views. So we got a whole lineup. We got RuPaul's Drag Race. We got Nurse Jackie. We got the L Word. And what do you know? They are relevant to who? Moi. Alright, so we're gonna begin with RuPaul's Drag Race. And the other potty jokes that we have, which is like more, we'll include those for the next show. So if you're wondering which one we did, because it's like October, November, December, January. This show it was December's Playboy Park jokes. So yeah. I guess the good thing that I would like to say about that, because to me it doesn't seem like it's a job because like I guess that was the whole point of a jailmate in jailmate to address that issue. So I'm not really in that community. Well, the thing that I would like to say that if you just go through life and not knowing someone's here like a little bit before you is that having responsibilities that I have or that we have, is good that care was put there, where a go-to, because like it's like sometimes it's like if you can't go to like the president of the United States, who can you go to? You know, you're you're living here, you're in New York, you're in California, you're in Wyoming or wherever. You're like, like you're supposed to go to the like if you're not in the presidents of the United States, like oh my gosh, like you're like screwed. You're like screwed. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm thankful that was put, that he had that experience so that, um, when we're in this situation where we got Asada, in this situation and, we have to address like the hostage, situation and how that relates to President Obama, and how that relates to Michelle Obama, and how that hostage, situation relates to Assata. We're in that, and it's like the president is in that, and the president doesn't really know, or does the president, or does this President Obama know, whether you know or not? The point is, it's there, and it's like in the White House, and I'm just thankful that, like I'm gonna say is what needs to be addressed with it is in the White House. So I'm thankful that this was put in Brad, so that there is something there where you can go to and reach to. That's not you know that's not necessarily over like the White House head, but this is what I have, so I'm glad that what I have was put there, so it wouldn't be a situation where you just felt like, like, I don't know, like not safe or in danger or no one to talk to because they're all like in the president's, in Obama's, but um, that's what I'm thankful about with that, because um, yeah, the reality of it is that you need to be able to go to who you are, and sometimes when people don't know the full extent of what you have, they can't best be challenged in that one. So I'm thankful. That's all I have to say about that. With 7 years into that, I'm thankful that the experience was put in Brad, so that it's here and all of this stuff is here, and it's like Jerry got the Oscar, and it's like President Obama's in it. It's like this situation, President Obama, and you know, don't even know if he even get the hostage situation, or if he even had the ability to separate himself from it, with regards to the White House, with regards to Michelle, and not knowing that was put there, to protect, to a sense of protection from it, you know. Um, you don't necessarily have to, like, I have to fly out of the country or whatever, but you already have that was already put there. So, you know, I'm thankful for that, because, you know, um, you have to, like, oh, I have to, like, go to Jamaica, because, it's like, and I don't even know what that looks like really, like having what I have, with whatever, with government and presidents or vice presidents. I don't even know what that looks like when someone's like, I can't, I I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what that feels like really. Um, it's like I can't go to the president. It's like I don't even have money to get a ticket to go to another country. I can't even fly out another country because it's like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't know what that feels like. So I'm even thankful that I'm even still, like, I'm thankful that I'm in the United States and have that, um, because just for those people that might feel like that, or however, going through whatever, not having the Obama administration, or the situation with Michelle Obama or Sasha Obama, not having anyone to turn to. So, yes, I guess you got me because I'm still here and I didn't flight. I didn't, like, I didn't jet out and be like, I'm like going to like Shanghai or something. I didn't do that. Like, I'm still, I'm here. And we're gonna just start our views. So because it's views for security and law, and it's also in addition to that. Oh, I'm so sorry. We have to stop with Google YouTube right now. I almost kept you guys in it. So if you're still with us with YouTube, review about Drag Race, Nurse Jackie and um, so there's season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and those topics. Um, then going into Nurse Jackie and the challenges that Grace was experiencing, um, those levels, um, and then going to the L Word and that show with Jennifer Beals and Law with the same, not really the same, but just that, like, it was that question about that. Um, you know, uh, that was it an attempt um, to, try to go on someone else's territory, and to, try to gain, you know, I don't know what, I don't go in the uniform like that. I don't know if some uniform people try to think that way, when there's like, all these different um, uniform law enforcement, different businesses of different cities and different states. That sometimes they, like, that jail mentality, try to think like, okay, well, we do this, like Mimi and Black, the one hair went to Mimi. Like if we do this, then we got like an upper hand in like your jurisdiction or something like that. But it's like that's the question that they were trying to resolve with that. Um, it's kind of like Grace, and Nurse Jackie, just accept what you cannot accept, accept what you cannot change, and ask for the wisdom to know the difference. And that includes when it comes to levels with, law enforcement and responsibility. Some things you cannot change, you can't take from it, you can't, um, try to, act out or try to harm because somebody won't give you something, won't give you responsibility. It's just not the way to go. Whether you feel like you can do this or you have what it takes, sometimes it's just not meant for you. Just accept where those areas are, and so you can stay focused on where it's meant for you. Um, so then, there's that situation with like the primary situation of not being the Taylor Swift to the Lord to my Taylor Swift. And, um, you know, we didn't get into that with Nurse Jackie, but we could have, but it went to a different scene. But we could have gotten into that when it comes to, same-sex marriage. Um, because I think I mentioned before that, when Obama became president, that I felt as though a different choice was for me with regards to relationships. Um, because that internal presented a gay situation to me, and because the L word was here, and it was showing, it was presenting one that wasn't gay. Um, you know, uh, so that was that situation. However, um, there was still a marriage component with regards to law and Jennifer that was. you know, kind of just like, okay, if that was another question with regards to levels in law enforcement, there's still another angle to that, and there's that marriage component, because um, I guess I don't want to say there's the wife and there's the whore, and can you marry a whore? In reality, it's like run free. Those two things don't exist in reality. So, that was another component in it. So it's like even though it was presenting something that wasn't gay, it was still that hurdle. I don't want to necessarily say a block when it comes to marrying a wife versus marrying a whore. And that's all that we have for this show. But the next show is going to still be um, focusing on comedy and our raw, and we'll still do the Playboy party jokes, etc., etc. And so the question will still going to be intertwining my story with the L word, Miss Jackie, RuPaul's Drag Race, and I could throw in America's Next Top Model, but I won't. But I don't know. Maybe I might. But it's Cycle 6 that's relevant. I don't know. I think about it. It's the month of February. Why not? Maybe we'll throw in tomorrow. We'll throw in Cycle 6 of America's Next Top Model. I started watching it, but then I kind of stopped because that's like Will Smith. Will Smith's like court. I was like, oh, yeah. It's like like since we're on the topic of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, why not bring in his courtship, and that's American Next Top Model Cycle 6, and just intertwine all four. So we'll do that tomorrow. So this time we brought in Nurse Jackie, and this time we brought in back the L word, and then tomorrow we're going to get Cycle 6 of America's Next Top Model. And so the big question is, the actual Dalai Lama's daughter, or am I like, am I like Cupid with you too, and like hooking you up with like, you know, or just because that's the Tibet's the reality of Tibet, what that means when it comes to sacrifice. It's like was Angelina a religious fanatic? Where she like, she was one of the ones, and I'm like, I'm swinging on the chandelier. I'm gonna, I'm gonna just do whatever, and it's, whatever contribute to, whatever contribution, however way that is, even if it's like not good, not admirable, totally screwed up, you know. But if I'm a totally screwed up person, then like I'm like swinging on the chandelier in my totally screwed upness. She's like a religious fanatic, like for the cause of united and Dalai Lama peacefulness, or was it in the spirit that we just don't have to get revenge because her Brad's family was in you know, committed to his 7 years in Tibet, and and you know didn't like that very much, uh, to the point of like, wanting it lost in the Pitt family from a not so good spirit. So, which is it? And um, then almost to the actual Dalai Lama's daughter, or it's like, is it the Like the president, is it the actual president's daughter, or is it like, you know, the 42nd or the 43rd, the 45th, or like, Obama's? Which is it? It's a big difference. There's a big difference when it comes to sacrifice. There's a big difference when it comes to the rules. So there's a big difference when it comes to life. Um, it's a big difference. That's another important thing about RuPaul's Drag Race, that life, that commitment to life. Um, and that commitment to 7 years into battle. It was a commitment to life. And when someone tries to push you out of that commitment to life, to your life, and other people went into that commitment to life, and it's like those type of things that become difficult in this industry. It's like, well, how do you know, how do you charge that? How do you put that in a court of law? And it's like against your life to try to do this or to do that. It's like a life threat. And the guys are smiling at cameras, and it's a life threat. Um, so that's the reality. And we just stay with views with security and tomorrow, but it's still views with security. And so that's been a late show tea. Bye.